Yeah, make the most of a pretty tough situation. Disruptor
Yeah,
coming out for Yellow Submarine, that was going to give them even more catch and a great way of dealing with the Chronosphere. And
yeah,
also, Thunderstrike, one of the best lane zoning tools in the game with the amount of damage it puts out. So
yeah,
that tri-lane could come. They don't have really any stuns from their two supports, so it's a little bit awkward.
yeah. Disruptor is a strong hero, I would say. Like I think, especially
Could
now
be an
you see
inter.
some of these heroes. It can be really nice against Void. Sometimes he just a time walk and you just glimpse him back, for example, or Snapfire as well. You can cancel the ultimate if you see him. There's some tools, and Miposhka also likes to play this hero a lot. I think it's one of his favorite heroes. I see him often on that hero, so comfort hero for him as well. Overall, looking okay. I think they can have a really strong lane with this Disruptor draw lane against whatever they pick up. Okay, yeah.
Well,
This can be
CK.
it can be good, but I can also see that like draw disruptor like really harassing zoning this Chaos Knight out on the lane. But once the lane keeps going, obviously draw will
10
get bullied pretty
seconds.
hard with against this Chaos Knight. I would imagine it might be a 4
5
snapfire now. They will
seconds.
still keep it open for the last pick, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like it. Then you've got the double
It is
stun with Cookie
Dial's
into the Chaos
band.
Bolt.
Yeah, yeah,
I like Cookie with Reality Rift as well. The amount of gap close and just kind of displacing
yeah.
yourself forward against the Drow is so
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Like as draw, you hate playing against that. But the only thing is that you still need to get the levels to get all of those spells. So for
True.
like the early laning stage can be
10
really annoying for the
seconds
Chaos Knight
remain.
because you constantly get harassed by Disruptor and Drow. They will constantly keep hitting you
5
and using the Thunder
seconds
Strike. So
remain.
you're gonna be pretty annoyed by that.
So into these final bans and picks, it feels like both teams looking for their mid laner here, right? They've kind of set
Yeah,
in stone, Void 1, CK3, Undying Snapfire 2 supports. Pretty similar story for Yellow Submarine. They've got everyone
yeah.
except their Pos 2.
I would say at least like Yellow Submarine definitely looking for a mid, and Khan still has option to put Snapfire mid if they see something like really see something good as a 4. But I'm not really seeing any great 4 here that they could go for. So most likely they're looking for their mids. Both sides. I think Yellow Submarine has been. There was this Leshrac a little bit I watched when they were playing. Toronto Tokyo has been
Radiant's
playing it
turn to
pretty
ban.
well, but both teams
Dire's
kind of want
turn
of
to
like a
ban.
way of starting fights. Right now, both teams lack this kind of guy that just goes in right now. And Tiny could be something for both teams to have. It's like this great hero that just can go in. Void Spirit is
Radiant's
also
turn
still
to
the
pick.
pool.
Yeah, both of the
Yeah,
other spirits being banned out. Storm,
yeah,
Ember
exactly.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire's
So
turn
like
to pick.
Storm Ember,
Lena.
Lina. Okay, so this is also like decent because now you can keep it as a 4 as well. And now if you want to put CK Lina as lane, it can also be really annoying for the draws. Pretty good. Snapfire can go mid still, so that's the one thing with Khan. They can keep this Lina and Snapfire open and decide where they want to put
10
them.
seconds.
Overall, pretty nice picks from Khan. They have really strong lanes right now,
5
so that's a good
seconds.
sign already.
Yeah, and even more damage into Chrono with that Lena. Gonna
Yeah,
be pummeling into Drow. If Drow gets caught, she is absolutely going to get annihilated here.
yeah.
So with TA banned, the Spirit's gone, up against Alina, it can be a little difficult to find that hero that you actually want to pick.
Yeah, it's tricky hero to get here. I think Void Spirit could still be okay, even though you get a bit rough on the lane. Like there's a lot of like good targets. If you go for the Axe build, for example, on Void Spirit, you can really screw some of these heroes up here. You
What about
still
like
need heroes to let the Drow to be able to do this thing. Invoker.
yeah, I was just gonna say, what about Cosmex Invoker? How does that look
Yeah,
here?
that's good as well. That's also like I saw this guy playing a lot in his pub, so he's definitely liking this hero. So yeah, that was a good suggestion as well. I like it as well. It can make this like early map pressure and give Drow the space that he needs. So it's a good pick here, and it should be able to do okay against Lina as well.
It's a pretty nice pairing. Like the last three heroes they've got, Centaur, Disruptor, Invoker, they're all pretty damn good at playing with each other. Like even a
Yeah.
Tornado to kind of set up for a Supernova, or a Tornado
Mhm.
into the Chrono to stop the Void from doing damage, catching people out. And we all know how fragile Lina can be. In that
Yeah.
mid game, a couple of deaths can reverse her snowball. And the
10
long range, like she doesn't want to buy
remain.
BKB early, right? She wants,
Mhm.
fourth item BKB or something. But against
5
against an Invoker
seconds
who's got
remain.
Tornado Cold Snap, there's no way you TPing out. You're gonna get glimpsed back. So they've got
Yeah.
to keep Young G as guarded and as safe as possible.
Probably like a Yule's game for him. Maybe play like this kind of caster type of Lina in this game. play on the far range, far back. Good thing for him is that later on they don't really have the best tools. Like they only have the centaur kind of to catch him. So there's not like this instant jump type of like all these, like we said, Ember, Storm, Void Spirit. None of these heroes are in the pool, so Lina should have somewhat okay time. Obviously, with Centaur Stampede, they can maybe catch him. But if Youngji plays this well, I think he can. It can be really hard for Yellow Submarine to play on this catch game on him. But there is obviously some tools for Yellow Submarine as well to catch him. So we'll have to see how he itemizes here with Youngji.
Yeah, for sure. So playing from Fog, making sure that he's got that spacing and keep himself as far away from that centaur as possible.
Yeah.
It really does look like Yellow Submarine, with the tools they've got, they need vision. They need vision for Glimpse, they need vision for the Blink Stomp. Invoker can maybe give you a little bit of that if he's ghost walking and scouting around.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side, it feels like you can kind of put people just out on the map. Your Snapfire, your Void, whoever it might be, your Chaos Knight's going to be pretty tanky. And then you kind of want to counter-initiate as Khan, rather than going for that straight initiation, which Yellow Submarine probably want to be going for.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a lot on like how the lanes go. So far, like I'm looking at Khan, they should have a pretty good start for their lanes. I think both side lanes, well, it should at least like their safe lane should be having a good advantage for the Void to have a free lane. I think this top lane is gonna be like first few levels is gonna kind of determine how this lane is gonna go. Because if Khan doesn't get too bullied on the first few levels, they can really bully this draw after they get like their level 3 and so on. So we'll have to see how the lanes go. Because if Khan gets away with a good laning stage, they can kind of just run over the Yellow Submarine team. They have not the best team fight into the lineup of Khan, and if they don't do well in the lanes, it's gonna be really hard for them to fight.
We'll see what they get up to down bottom. Already naive scouting Centaur and the Phoenix. Drow Ranger we can see hiding away in the pocket up top. Everyone kind of converging down to these bottom bounty runes, especially from the Dire team. So Naive and J4, your Void and your Undying down here. Miposhka Disruptor with Sobad and Collapse, Phoenix and the Centaur. It looks like they've secured both of them. But it's kind of interesting that Khan even thought about posturing. You know, they're setting up to maybe go and steal one.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised as well, but it's maybe because they felt like the Disruptor could have been there, so with the Disruptor it's pretty hard to fight that. But two runes for both teams, so neither team is too unhappy with that. Yeah. Go
really
with
nice.
The warding mission.
Yeah, Miposhka was using the tree trick.
Yeah. He also actually has 2 sentries, so if he somehow finds this ward as well, he's gonna be pretty rich. Getting good experience boost now, but he just blocks the hard camp, which is obviously a nice thing to do. People have started to do this a lot now.
Yeah, make sure that the offlane doesn't get the value from pulling that back and resetting. Especially when you, very often as this safe lane, want to get level 2 fast by shoving the wave. It can be really nice.
Yeah, it's also
reset.
It's often for the carry that you think about it in this way, that this carry never needs to run to this camp where it's like very easy to get going on. So if you block this camp, it's always gonna be kind of like, well, it's not always gonna be in his favor, the lane, but it's gonna be at least that he doesn't need to worry about this lane getting stacked. And then when there's like double stack camp, it's gonna be so hard for the carry to ever go there to fight that.
Yeah, especially against this Snapfire and CK, like we were saying before, being able to get on top of it pretty quickly. So bottom, mid lane, Tornado being thrown out there, but Lina with a good lead. Young G 8 and 3, tripling up on the CS there. If you add it all up, kind of 12 to 4, including those denies. Is that an expected start from the Lina with the better attack damage and all that?
I think this is I think it's expected. Yeah, I think the Lina versus Invoker for the early on is kind of like this. Especially against the Quaswex, I think Lina just kind of zones you out. Obviously, Young G playing it well as well. The Toronto Tokyo is not too unhappy how the lane is going, because eventually he just needs the levels and some creeps, obviously. But levels is the most important thing for him. Then he can do more in the map and stuff.
Yeah, then he'll get that pretty quick bottle as well. As Toronto Tokyo just throwing another couple of spells his way. Lina nearly has the bottle already. That's going to give him an extra bit of regen. Down bottom, Phoenix gets a courier snipe. Naive loses the majority of his Wraith Band there. Sitting on his ring of regen, just trying to sustain up against this Phoenix Centaur, who've been spamming out a lot of spells his way.
Yeah. Or they're doing pretty good bottom lane with the Centaur and Phoenix. They're kind of tanking this Undying together, hitting him in the face. I would say that when Knife gets more levels, it should be more annoying for the Centaur to be able to stay on this lane. So far doing alright. A lot of regen is being burnt though. There goes the Drow Ranger. The problem of this just the getting gone on by these two heroes is just annoying for the Drow to deal with. They're just really tanky heroes on CK and Snapfire, so yeah, that's a good start for Khan. First blood there for Cursor Cat.
Yeah, great stuff. Like, yeah, bottom lane, they've both got their sticks, right? Phoenix and Centaur, so they're kind of dealing with the spam of the decay and the soul rip pretty well. Now Drow returns to lane. You've got to be so careful now as Yatoro not to get gone on a second time, right? Because Snapfire's healing up, has a mango to pop.
If he dies now, he's like so screwed. He needs to be really careful. He knows that he can't go for these creeps.
Yeah, like Miposhka gets the pull off. In they come. Don't quite get the cookie timing though. The rift and the stun. There's a good amount of chain harassment here. Yatoro down to about half HP, but he's got tangos to fall back on. Still good lane control though. Coming out of Khan.
Yeah, they weren't able to get the cookie or the reality rift first, so they had to use the cookie first. But still good harassment for them. But at least Yatoro now is gonna have his lane under his tower, but Miposhka most likely gonna die here.
Yeah, tries to throw out whatever spells he can before falling.
Yeah.
With Gilgir and Cheshire Cat with a great start. It looks like Snapfire probably just gonna head back to base. Do we have regen coming out? There's Tango's Clarity. Very low on HP though, and there's no salves to pass around.
Yeah. He's probably just gonna run base here because Miposhka is also. He's actually gonna TP the base. Okay. Gonna be in the bottom top lane in a while still, but probably gonna get some space now at least. He actually skilled Gushed on Drow, a bit surprising. But I feel like on this lane it might be the difference maker. And if you ever see them like kind of going on you and you get to get the Gust, it can just completely nullify this. Go on for either one of them. He can also protect the Disruptor maybe with it. We'll see how it works out.
Like a necessary evil. Going 1-1-1 on Drow doesn't feel good, but yeah, like you're saying, might just be that thing that tips the scales.
Yeah.
Mid lane Invoker kind of catching up a little bit, not so far behind now. But Lina having a great time. Double null with the bottle. Doesn't have an active rune to really play into the side lanes just yet. I'm getting a little bit panicky here, looking like low HP heroes bottom lane. They're both really towing that line, playing back and forth. And then you've got this Snapfire who's running deep. Getting a good observable there that'll scout out the pull from Miposhka.
Yeah,
both sides looking for that early aggression.
Yeah, I think bottom lane. It's gonna be a bit more annoying for the Void now to lane against this. Centaur is level 4 and Phoenix is also level 3, so level 2 Fire Spirits. A little bit tricky to deal with, so overall I think Yellow Submarine can be happy how this bottom lane has gone for them, because now kind of the Undying factor is not there anymore, that he can just kind of win this lane 1v2. Now they can actually just kill the Undying if he ever wants to play really aggressive, so...
Oh, they go on top. Drow Ranger, there's the Gust back. They try and move forward. Not quite landing their spells though. Gilgir missing out on the Scatter Blast, and Yatoro just like, cool, I'm gonna walk away. Still has Raindrops, Magic Wand, no need to really regen up. Disruptor has plenty of regen to hand over to the Drow as well.
Yeah, overall just Gust looks like it's a nice thing to have on this lane. Helps a lot. And overall they just keep having this lane under his tower, so it's really hard for them to get to go on this Drow that much. But now the lane is gonna push in a bit, so now Drow needs to be careful again. Miposhka might end up dying here.
Yeah, Miposhka comes to try and ward that camp again. Decent kinetic field, gonna stop him from being hit by the CK, but the cookie in. Gilgir will be able to get in front of the Disruptor, slow him down with some nice little body blocks there, and finish him off.
Yeah, it's a really hard lane for them to play against. Like, as a support, you play against this type of lane. They have so many stuns and just so much damage, it's like so hard.
All rotating bottom. Young G, looks like he's going to get scouted though. unable to get on top of Collapse, and they don't have the Chrono yet, so kind of an unusual rotation from Lina down into the bottom lane with no stuns to set up for her.
Yeah, I think they might be a little bit like they feel like they should have won this lane harder or something, so they feel like the Lina needs to be here, something. But overall, good reaction, good understanding that Lina is not showing.
Well, she shows there.
There we go. Yeah. Well,
Comes back into her lane.
So bad kinda just dies, but get to pressure the tower a little bit. Force a glyph there. So Young G is happy with that kill for sure.
Nice bit of gold in the pockets. And it does look like Boots of Travel Yules is queued up for the Lina.
Yeah, I guess the Travels is fine. Good to go for first item.
The slows on bottom. Naive and J4, they pop Tombstone, throwing every spell they've got towards Collapse Centaur. He's got 5 stick charges and he looks like he's going to be alright. J4 trying to get some more decay stacks, misses out on that one, whiffs it. As top lane, Cheshire Cat yet again.
Well, both supports, position 5s are having a really rough time. So...
Did they kill the Drow here? They've got Phantasm. Gilgir is in a little bit of trouble. Maybe he can turn with his Counterblast. The rotation from Toronto, Tokyo. Cold Snap and take down the Grandma. The cookie into the trees. No, he's been found. He can't escape that way. Slyly, sneakily trying to break his way through the forest. But that Invoker's ready and waiting for him.
Yeah, if he gets away there, it doesn't feel that bad. But nice reaction from Toronto, Tokyo, and now Drow also gets a little bit of space. They might actually try Crusher Kit here as well, but there's a ward, so do not look to die here. This is also nice from Miposhka now. He's having a bit of a rough start, but he's getting some creeps now onto the mid lane, so nice thing for your position fine to have.
Well, it was Cheshire Cat that started on the Drow Ranger. CK playing very aggressively, and the Invoker's here to react and try and turn it around, but a good cookie back means Gilgir gets the CK out of that real sticky spot.
Yep. Well, good save from Gilgir. That would have been really costly if Crusher Cat dies there, because he didn't have a TP. He would have died there.
Oh, nice glimpse. See you, Lina. All the way back to Fountain you go. Miposhka sends it all the way home.
Yeah, he's... that's a good space for Miposhka now. He's gonna have his boots, I think. Bought them.
Oh, the 10-minute boots. Feels good.
Yeah. J4, in the other hand, doesn't have his boots, but there's some levels. Poshka obviously being more happy about that, what just happened for the few 2 minutes. The lanes, yeah, the CK having a pretty good start, but I am still surprised how Naive is this low farm. They definitely played this bottom lane really well on Yellow Submarine, and the Centaur having almost 1000 more net worth than the Void shows that this lane didn't maybe work as how they wanted with Khan.
Yeah, especially when we thought when that Undying was picked that it looked pretty good for the lanes for Khan.
Yeah.
So some great stuff from Yellow Submarine as they do bring pretty much their full team, just minus the Drow who's in the jungle, all down to the bottom lane. Khan trying to react. Interesting time walk there, but it's going to come to a Chrono. It's a Supernova in the back, and the Mortimer's Kiss is landing on Centaur, but Collapse just stampedes away. Khan can't actually get a target that they want to stick on, and now the stun onto Naive. They've got the Cold Snap there, and Void's gone. 1 kill is all that comes from that massive rotation, but it's Yellow Submarine favored, and they might even go diving for more. They want this tier 1.
They know that they know that they TP'd here, so he's here. And Toronto Tokyo knows he jumped here, but somehow they can. Miposhka needs to use the. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, try and get some vision into the trees. They don't have any quelling blades or anything. They've got a tornado up. Finally, they get through the trees. There's a tango from Miposhka cutting through at long last. While mid lane, Gust back. Looks like the CK still thinking about going on the Drow. Gives up on that idea very quickly, though.
Yeah, they get the nice kill. But there was a lot of time bought by Gilgir there. Then Young G ends up getting the top tower as well. So, in the end, it's gonna be a trade-off, but still, obviously, Knife dying there, not the best thing. Knife is really, well, not really underfarmed, but he's pretty underfarmed. I would say the Drow had a bad lane, but it does look like the Void had even a worse lane. So it's gonna come a lot in this early game. It looks, it's gonna be like these both carries are gonna be farming quite a lot, and it's gonna be a lot of like 4-on-4 actions. And maybe under tower, we're gonna see more of these carries. rotate, like helping, but mostly they're gonna be farming for next 10 minutes.
They don't want to see an enemy hero unless they get dived under their tier 2s or something.
Exactly.
So yeah, Toro's just going to stick up top. They have pinged her out. It feels like Khan want to make their way up into that dire jungle area, if at least just to get an observer board to spot where she is. Yeah, they're even scanning. They want to see where the drow is, and they're going to go straight up that high ground ramp. Gilga and Cheshire Cat, it's just 2 heroes, but we've seen how powerful they can be up against the drow with the gap closed. They kiss, and they spit forward that lava, but the Stampede's there, and the drow ranger, with that gust, actually gets herself away again.
Yeah, the drow, it's not that easy kill. If he gets that gust ever, and then also the Stampede, it's hard to kill this hero, right? Like if you don't have like this instant like go on him, which they don't have, the drow will not be that easy to get killed. So nice Stampede use as well from Collapse. If he didn't use that there, he would die. Nice usage of the Centaur as well.
What does Centaur have? Oh, he's got Blink. I was looking at Centaur, wondering where all his money was, and he's actually got the Blink dagger 13 minutes in.
Yeah, they're gonna smoke up right now. This is a good time to make a play. They have a Blink dagger, level 6 on Boschka. They can kill anyone they catch. Young G.
Oh, that Lena kill is huge.
But they know they're smoked because there's a ward here. No, yeah.
Oh, because they placed the sentries in the wards and they got scouted by it. They're still going around though. Collapse with so bad. Thinking about that wraparound. But good defensive positioning from Khan. Making sure no one's showing on the bottom lane. They're all sweeping back in to defend the Lena.
They wanna make a play on this mid tower really hard. Like you can still see that they're still sticking around. So bad going bottom though. He's like, I'm out of this. I'm just gonna go farm. Probably not gonna end up happening anything.
And they definitely don't want to find the CK. 1.6k HP. Very tanky target. So the D wards are coming. Undying frontlining. J4 kills the observer ward. And yeah, you're right. Yellow Submarine just retreat away. They know that they've got Drow Ranger farming very efficiently back in that triangle.
Just hard to make them move after they're kind of like the surprise maker just goes away. They know that they're all around mid playing, so it's hard to make that like fast play and get a kill. They just need to go back and farm. Overall, pretty close game still. Both carries are kind of farming equally. Young G farming really well, while actually Collapse is the highest farmed on Yellow Submarine, so he's doing really good for himself in the Centaur. They want to make a play on Knive here, but I don't think they have damage.
Time is money.
Yeah, he goes straight back up onto the high ground.
Middle tower is under attack.
Veil already on this Phoenix, so they're gonna have a big damage amp if they want to take a fight. Right now in this, like, this is probably the best timing for Yellow Submarine to look for a fight. They have like this Blink Dagger ready, they have this Veil ready. Well, no Urn or anything like that on Invoker, but it's like some good timing right now for Yellow Submarine to make a play. Maybe even trying to get this mid tower. This mid tower is so important for both teams because then it allows to be like able to contest the enemy carry. But instead, this time Knive is getting smoked up here.
There he goes, straight in. Oh, the tornado stops him with the Static Storm as well. Naive, that is real tragic for him as he's ripped apart by Yellow Submarine. The chase potentially is on, but the Mortimer's Kiss is going to zone them out. Now they're going to rift back in. Meponichka getting caught up in all of that fire and flames, but a nice Sunray there. Healing him back up. And the jump from Centaur, only catching Undying. J4's reasonably tanky with a quick little soul rip. They've got a cold snap though, and they continue going for more targets. It's a 1-by-1 here as Cheshire Cat reality rifts back in, but J4 and the CK all being shredded in a 3-for-0. Yellow Submarine didn't lose a single soul, did they?
No, it looks like it's gonna get to the 3-man chrono, but the tornado, like, it's just a perfect timing. I think he might have seen the Undying break, and then he wanted to, like, I don't think he even tried to tornado the Void there, but just works out really well for them. They get the kill on the Void. Young G also might end up dying here. Can be big.
Oh god. Oh, the Chrono finally comes. The MP is on top of him, and with that tornado, they glimpse him back in. They glimpse the Lena into the Chrono. Self-Yules into a Gust though now, and Young G's down. 4 heroes. That is a disaster for Khan.
Yeah, because he was the one that was like still doing well on side of Khan, and now he dies as well on the Lena. So really good sequence of events for the yellow submarine, and they're like now 5k ahead. They can take out this tower. No chrono now as well, so they can still make plays. Like their lineup doesn't really rely too much on cooldowns. They can just keep going again. Nai might actually get going on here. He doesn't have his mommed up right now.
Collapse. Interesting walk in, but they've got Static Storm. Sunstrike, I think it's only level 1, but it's still a good little bit of damage. And Cheshire Cat not wanting to stick around. They can't really bring the numbers up here fast enough for Khan.
No. It's just hard right now. They have this no. Okay, they have Mortimer's Kisses, but it's still hard without the chrono.
Undying Tombstone's up. Mortimer's Kisses, they are coming. And a Stampede to retreat as the Reality Rift pulls Collapse in for a second. Yellow Submarine, though, fully falling back. Drow Ranger coming in from the right-hand side, so they could maneuver to the high ground. As Collapse blinks away. J4 having his raindrops popped. But here's the Drow. She's ready to fight. Hello, I've got a Dragon Lance, let's go. Cheshire Cat being burnt alive by the Phoenix. The Cold Snap on the Lina. Oh, they've got the Lina. Young G glimpsed back into the waiting arms of Yellow Submarine. They've got both of the cores that came up here to fight, while Void, where's he? He's in the mid lane, Invis, hiding from his enemies. Because Yellow Submarine are coming. J4, he's found by the kinetic field.
Yeah. It's just hard for them. They're like, Yellow Submarine's just playing better. They're like making these plays faster. They're like making Khan react and come with lesser numbers, and they're just like getting them like one by one. Young G now died 2 times in a row. He has this use. He hasn't really been. He has only done like kind of gotten to the top tower, but he hasn't been able to play the game really like at all yet. So there's just nice moves and nice plays from Yellow Submarine right now, like making Khan kind of split on the map and not ever able to use their spells together. Like you can even see, like without the chrono, Mortimer's Kisses is kind of just doing nothing because they just stampede out of it. And then you go back in. I don't have that spell. So they really need to use this chrono and the Mortimer's Kisses together if they wanna like try to think about winning a team fight. But Yellow Submarine is not giving it that to them, so it's looking hard for Khan.
Yeah, like you see the way that the positioning. Collapse and So Bad are the ones on the Radiant side of the map. Invoker and Disruptor up top playing as these pairs which can look for kills together. While Drow Ranger, Drow Ranger's the one hero that Void would be like, I would solo chrono her, and I would allow Mortimer's Kisses to land and steal the kill as long as Drow dies. But there's just no way to get to her. Breaking through this front line, seemingly impossible.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it. They don't have the Void just has a really bad game. So even if he needs like this kind of BKB or Manta type of item against Drow, so he can never get a disgust. And just not like if he gets one gust, he just kind of dies. So he needs to have something to deal with that. But he's not gonna have it for a while. Well, he's going for the BKB, but he's still pretty far away from.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
And Phoenix, on the other hand, having a great time. Plate Mail after Veil has a clumsy net on the Phoenix as well. Lovely item with a long range initiation you can get from that dive.
Yeah.
And it's something that Void hates playing against, is that clumsy net.
Yeah, that's true. And it's also level 12 Phoenix and also level 2 Egg.
Oh.
Not that easy to deal with. I mean, they have Snapfire, but it's really hard for him to ever get in a position to able to use it in this game. Mostly if you're playing from ahead as a Snapfire, it feels really good to play against Phoenix, but now that you're behind, you can't really have luxury to use that spell to cancel the Egg, because you kind of need to use Mortimer's Kisses to deal damage right now, because they lack that a lot. So.
Oh, trying to go on Gilgir. Glimpse won't come to anything. Forcing TPs though, look at that. Khan are like, okay, well TP CK up there, we've got 3 heroes nearby to fight. But it's all just a little bit of a bait. Yellow Submarine still keeping this very similar map positioning. Invoker feels safe to kind of push out top because he's got Tornado Ghost Walk. Drow is just sitting, farming 6 camps. Towards the kind of middle lane, the triangle and that bit of jungle. Centaur pushes out bottom lane, he's got Blink Stampede. There's like no heroes that you can kill. So it's going to come down to like Roshan fight or a big 5-man smoke or something.
Yeah. I also like what Collapse is doing. Like this axe can actually be like it's a really good idea from him to go for it, because the only way that Khan has a chance to win a fight if they get like some sick chrono into Mortimer's Kisses. But if he has this axe and Centaur just make sure that he doesn't get chronoed, just one Stampede can just make his team not die in this chrono. Yeah, because he will have that damage reduction, 40% damage reduction on his team.
Yeah, absolutely right. Make it even more of a saving mechanism. Sunray, there's the Stampede from Collapse. chasing down the Grandma. She's sent off to the retirement home as that Centaur takes her down. J4 doesn't get the damage onto the Centaur either, so he just blinks away. Mid lane. Oh, I thought for a second there the CK was going on. He tried to. He's got that blink dagger to initiate. But Drow does so much damage, forcing the Yules out from the Lina. In jumps Sheshikari again. Pushing forward with a good light strike array. They do catch the Drow and take her out. The buyback from Gilgear comes through as Naive gets his mana burnt, but he still gets the time walk away. A 2 for 1 there. And a buyback from Khan, really looking to contest this Roshan fight, which should be happening, you know, any minute now, honestly. But a decent little turn of events there for them.
At least they get the kill on the Drow. That was the big part of it. And they didn't need to use the Chrono, so they will still have Chrono for the next fight if they wanna take some type of fight. So that's important kill. They do have to use 10-second BKB for that, and they also use the buyback for it. So I don't know if it's too bad for Yellow Submarine. I don't think they feel too bad about it, but I think Khan can feel okay at least that they get to kill the Drow finally.
Probably since they didn't use Chrono, right? Like they killed Drow and now they still have Chrono kisses to go smoke off.
Yeah, pretty much that's the case. And he's really close to the BKB, which is really good if you can have that, but they want to make a play right now.
You see Miposhka where he's standing, waiting on top of the staircase. Are you smoking towards me, guys? I'm going to shovel, dig here. Place an observer ward down, but they do find the Drow a little deeper back.
It doesn't have Pike actually already.
Does Gust, but the Chrono's there. Miposhka static storms the void. Tornado comes through, clips the Mortimer's kissing Grandma. And Naive now stuck with no mana, half HP. Cook it away with the Tombstone drop. It is now down to Khan, blowing up the Drow, taking down the Invoker. And Centaur was nowhere to be seen.
Wasn't too bright.
Oh, they're going for more so bad. He's jumped on. The Chaos Knight's there, deep in behind enemy lines, finding a 3rd kill in a row.
Okay, good stuff from Khan. They gets to find the Drow once he just spawns again, and they get to go on him, use all their spells together, and that's much needed for them. They also get some nice extra kills on the Invoker and the Phoenix as well. This could also be Roshan if they want to, and that's the better call. If they get this Roshan now and not give it to Drow, this is some big good stuff. Oh, nice Curious collapse though.
Oh, that was his BKB.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the 3 minutes without the BKB, or 2.5, but still very good for Khan. Like last 3-4 minutes has been like really good for them. It did look really bad for them. They're still 9k behind, but this is the exact way that they can still turn back. Like they still have a really good team fight lineup. So Yellow Submarine has to be more careful how they split on the map right now. They can still like lose this game by like giving too much space for Khan to kind of get the space and these fights going for them.
Yeah, especially with some Radiant Vision now down in that top part of the map. Drow Ranger's going to have to try and focus down south. And now that Roshan's gone, it's pretty easy for that tier 2 bottom and that Radiant jungle to be all invaded by the Dire team, which it already is. Khan actually grouping up together as 5 towards mid lane. I'm assuming CK is going to come and TP there as well. There's no Chrono for 45 seconds. Mortimer's Kisses is up.
I think they want to wait for the BKB and the Chrono. So like 1.5 minutes for the Courier, and then they're going to make the play. I think even though you have the Aegis, it's still tricky that if you get silenced or tornadoed, it can just kind of ruin the whole situation. Or they can just go for the mid tower. They will probably think that Yellow Submarine don't want to contest them, and they just want to trade. So there's at least one way of getting to use the Aegis still without having to play too passive.
Yeah, I guess CK, you know, playing top lane was kind of baiting out. Does anyone show top lane? No one's there defending tier 2, no one's pushing the wave. And they've got some really good vision in towards the mid lane as well, so they kind of carved themselves a good area to push that tier 1 with. Oh, the worry, though, is that Yellow Submarine are thinking, or maybe just committing, to going high ground.
I think they just want to force them back here, because they don't want to react to them, so probably a nice play, but they need to be careful that they don't get caught here.
Yeah, Chrono is ready. Lina TPing as Undying. Oh, the glimpse. Is it going to come? BKB's there. And a stun. Catching Collapse. That's a decent amount of HP gone. Still has a Stampede and 10-1, but the Chrono arrives. Nicely placed. Phoenix and Disruptor both caught inside, but the Mortimer's Kisses not doing enough damage until Sobad finally falls. No, the Supernova. Beautifully timed, but the long-range attack from Lina until she's finished off by Collapse. Centaur's in deep in the Drow. Raining Hellfire down upon Khan. Standing her ground, and both Centaur CK, Lina, and the Phoenix all falling.
Yeah, that was like Phoenix literally was like one hit away from dying there. They still killed the Phoenix, but that was still, I think, I would say that's a good fight for Yellow Submarine. They're gonna knife.
Oh.
He just got the BKB.
And a glimpse back. Naive. He's
They
run
can't
forward
kill
here.
Yeah, they can't kill him.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
He's going to
under
time walk
attack.
back up to high ground.
Okay.
Oh, some spicy fights.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth fighting. I would say this still does favor Yellow Submarine, because what's happening is that Khan is kind of losing their BKB charges now as well. Like Lina is now to a 7-second BKB charge, and Knife just popped his 10-second BKB. So these kind of fights where their cores don't die, like carry and the mid laner doesn't die, and they get to use BKB charges is really good for them. If this game drags to that point where they have 5-second BKBs, it's gonna be like hard for Khan to do that much with that period of time. So there's a lot of silence, and there's a lot of like lockdown that can screw with you if you don't have BKB.
Now you're going to be holding those BKBs a little longer. Shadow Amulet not going to save the Undying there as he came in to D-ward.
First, you have to
Also the fact that you don't have a chrono for a minute.
Yeah,
Snapfire and Mortimer's Kiss is back up soon, but it's just round 2. Like Drow Ranger still down in the bottom lane. Everyone respawns on Yellow Submarine and they come in once more.
Yeah, I think this is a really good play for them. They can't really fight this without the chrono. Also, Undying without the Tombstone is a big deal. So I don't see them killing Yatoro here with like any way.
Radiant's bottom barracks
Because they also have the Stampede with the damage reduction. So they kind of need to just probably give out these racks. They don't have chrono.
And then what's next for Yellow Submarine? Mid lane, tier 2.
barracks has fallen.
Yeah, I think mid lane. Probably they can think about Roshan as well. Maybe beta fight. Like they have all the tools kind of they need. Yatoro also probably just wants to finish his BKB. If he gets that, there's like literally like they have no damage to kill him. So that's also a great tool. But instead they just want to smoke up
Oh,
and take a
Lina.
fight.
Ooh. Centaur couldn't find the jump. That was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Well, Chrono's back up in a second. Void is waiting on that high ground, ready to jump in and strike. Drow Ranger shows on the map for a second there,
Tower is under attack.
but no Roche for at least 3 minutes. So both these teams are kind of fighting over an area of the map which doesn't offer them too much constructive moving forward.
Yeah, Yatoro is getting his BKB now with this one creep, so if they don't get that perfect chrono, I don't see Yatoro dying in the next upcoming fight. They have too much for them to deal with right now.
Haste!
Gilgir pretty close to his axe. That could be the difference maker for the fight though. If they get a good cookie or like throw the void in, and then he gets a good chrono, that can be one way they can take a fight. So the big item having this axe, maybe it can make a difference.
It could do, but I'm really worried for them because now there's BKB on Invoker with Quickening Charm. The Drow BKB you were mentioning, it's arrived now, and she's got Titan Sliver. So it's like not just the items they're buying, but killing off neutrals and getting these neutral items pop up at exactly the same time. You know, the clock is ticking now for Khan.
It's just hard because they're like basically everyone on Yellow Submarine is really tanky. Even Mikoshka with this Glimmer and the point booster having quite a lot of HP. So bad having the Shiva's Guard. And then all on top of this you have this Stampede with the damage reduction, still like really big thing that you have to think about. So a lot
With
of
a
like
pipe and a plate mail.
yeah.
Well, they jump in. Cheshire Cat's like, we're starting this fight whether you like it or not. The Phoenix dropping very quickly. Does pop the Supernova now as the rest of the team has all retreated. Chrono's only onto the Centaur as that tornado sends the Undying skywards and collapse. He's thinking about how he wants to get out of this fight, but it doesn't look like he can. The cookie forward and the BKB pop from Lina means the Static Storm will do very little to her. Mortimer's Kiss is more of a zoning tool than anything, as Cheshire Cat's Chaos Knight still giving chase to Miposhka. And what have we had so far? Undying down for that Phoenix and the Centaur. A couple of buybacks, but Cheshire Cat's glimpsed into the Sunray. And a double kill for Drow. Very likely signals a teamfight win for Yellow Submarine there.
Yeah, problem with Khan is that if they don't kill people in this chrono and this in this Mortimer's Kisses, then they use their BKBs. There's like no way this Void can ever go in.
Tower
You can see that after the BKB, he just gets like 3 hits from the Drow, and he's like already at like 40% HP. So he has to be really careful how they take the fight after the BKBs. So, but now again they can just push here. There's no chrono. There's no real threat for the Drow again. They can kill him. So.
Yeah, like maybe they can gobble up the Undying, spit onto
Yeah.
the Drow, and then Lina puts all their spells on her. They're going to throw the Void in. Manta dodge attempted. Laguna Blade's there, but the Drow's being glimmered. Full staff back, and Yatoro's out of there. Ice Wall to try and slow down the advance, and a BKB from Toronto Tokyo 2. Glimpse, who's this on? Is that the Void? He's caught into the Gust. They've got him. Silence killed off immediately. Naive dead for 50 seconds. And at 21-13, it feels like Yellow Submarine have got this game in the bag.
Yeah, it does look pretty bad for them. They did have a good try there, but like I said, it's just they have so many tools of protecting in the Drow right now. Like it's so hard to kill him. Didn't even have the BKB ready there on that go, but there's the heals from the Phoenix, the Glimmer Capes, Stampede if they need, and Force Staffs, and so many tools just of protecting this Drow.
Middle tower is
I think the only thing that we want to see now is Cataclysm. Aghanim is on the Invoker. They should try and get themselves, you know, the 5-man Centaur stomp. He's got one. The Undying gets caught. J4 being dived inside his own base. That's too much damage for him to handle, though, unless that Glimmer Cape. Hello, they've kissed someone, gobbled them up, and spat them forward. Cheshire Cat aggressively in on top of the Drow Ranger, but he's annihilated. Where's the Centaur? What's he doing? They're fighting on 2 different fronts. Can't catch a break. They can't stick on a target. A good cookie. Gil goes on to collapse, and the Lina blows him up. Finally, a kill there for Khan. But they're down 3 with no buybacks, and this Drow Ranger still just pummeling into buildings.
Well, there's a chrono coming up, and you gotta try something.
Come on. No. no, they don't. Peksu. No, they chrono in the fountain. They're done.
Yeah, they're just done. Alright. Well, nicely played from Yellow Submarine. I think this biggest thing about this game is that they really did better on the bottom lane than I thought, and they kind of like made this Void's game not so good. And the Void had to play from behind kind of all throughout the game. If you, like I said, it's so much on the lanes on this game, because if the game goes differently, it can be the Drow can never like show anywhere or farm anything for free. So, but yeah, overall nicely done from Yellow Submarine. I think they laned it really well, and also that they played around Khan's cooldowns. Like every time there was chrono used, they were like looking to fight for 2 minutes non-stop. They didn't care, because the only way that they can take the fight is with the chrono, and if they didn't have a good chrono, it was hard. Khan had like one period of time where they got some nice kills, but it was just too much. Like they were still so much behind, and it was too much for Naive to like do. Like he didn't have all the tools to kind of win the game solo. So
Yeah, it feels like Lina, even with a good laning stage, kind of went back into the jungle to farm. Yeah. That first rotation bot didn't come to anything, and in the moment it was just like, oh, Lina's, you know, moved bottom lane, and I think you said, you know, pretty well put, that she wanted to try and make up for the losses they'd had in the laning stage, you know, with top going well, mid going well. Let's go help out bottom lane, and then Lina's game just started to fall apart really quickly.
Yeah, like he had a really good laning stage, and he was top net worth at 10 minutes, and he had a like good game all throughout the 15 minutes, but then that one death that he had, then from there it was kind of started snowballing that out of control for him. And like I said, it was like with the Lina pick, I was a bit scared of it, because even if you do well in your lane, there's a lot of like ways of maybe that they can, like, if the lanes doesn't go that well with the other side lanes, this Lina can't really do much in the game alone. In the end, it felt like at some point just like they weren't able to use their spells ever together, and then this Lina just felt kind of useless in that sense. But yeah, I think it's a lot on the Yellow Submarine though. I think they played it really well. They played their lanes well, and they optimized the timings and cooldowns of Khan. Whenever they used them, you could see them that they really wanted to play a really aggressive, play fast and take objectives. So nicely done from Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, absolutely. Got up in their faces. Really made a lot of space for the Drow Ranger. I think that was a great thing, the way they positioned on the map in those kind of pairs together, offering kill threat, but at the same time just making sure there was no real avenue for aggressive players like Cheshire Cat and Gilgear to go and smoke or find an avenue into that jungle to find Drow. So game 1 going to Yellow Submarine. Best of 3 here in the playoffs for the Summit 13 for Europe and CIS. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back with game 2 to see how they all do.